If you'd prefer to just use the website, that's also okay. So my name is Daryl Legacy. I am moderator. So I have the easy job today, and I think, although we'll see. Scott Harvey is going to be our presenter. We are both instructional designers as part of the CDI team. On the website, there's also a contact us page. And actually, I'll put that too. And that page has the email and the phone numbers for all of us in CDI. So if you have a question and you need help with anything related to D2L or Zoom, or if you have a question about pedagogy or how to design your course, we can certainly help you out and hopefully get you set with all of that. I have to find the chat. Here we go. And just as a reminder, so this is the contact us page. Just in case anybody didn't notice, this is being recorded, this meeting, and it will be available. I think Doreen is going to send them out, Scott, is that right?
Yes, I believe so.
Next week. So if you want that, hopefully with transcripts, if it records correctly, then hopefully that'll be out next week. Okay, I think that's it for me. We will try to leave some time at the end for questions and answers. And if you have questions, you can put them in the chat as we're going, and I will collect them. And then as many of them as we have time for, I will have Scott work on at the end.
Awesome. Thank you, Daryl. And just to add to Daryl's links in the chat, I'm now sending a link to the slides that I'm going to be showing you today, as well as a link to a step-by-step kind of job aid for today's presentation. This is so that, if you miss something today and you need to reference it, you can always reference it later. You'll have access to this whenever you need it. All right, so, and then I'll just paste the link to that. Okay, awesome. So links to everything are in the chat, to our CDI resources, as well as the resources for this presentation. So we'll get started. Before we start, I'm gonna launch a poll here just to get an idea of where we're at with Google Drive and Google Docs. So how much experience you guys have. So there's a poll launched in the Zoom. If you don't mind taking a minute just to answer these two questions, just to get an idea of how familiar we are. This is an advanced session, so hopefully today I'll show you some tips for Drive and tips for Docs that you may not be aware of. All right, so we got the votes coming in here. This is awesome, looks good. All right, we'll give it another 10 seconds here or so. All right, so I'm going to end the poll and share the results so we can take a look here. Awesome, so fairly familiar with Google Docs, fairly familiar with Google Drive, which is pretty much what we wanted, right? This is an advanced session, so hopefully you'll learn something today that you may not have realized about Google Drive or Google Docs. All right, so we're going to get started here. I'm just going to launch my slides. All right, so thanks for joining us this afternoon. We're going to talk about Google Drive and get into a little Google Docs stuff as well. All right, so what is Google Drive? We're probably all familiar. I mean, we're fairly familiar. If you're not, Google Drive is a file storage service developed by Google. It allows you to store files on their servers, synchronize your files across devices, and share files. And to access Drive, once you log into your Hack account, your Google account through Hack, you can open up that little waffle in the top right-hand corner and you'll see all your Google apps, including Drive. Something I want to start off with is something I found very handy as I was developing this training, and that is Google Drive File Stream. So basically, this is an application that you need to download to your computer. After you download it, you're able to sync your local computer files with your Google Drive, which is very, very handy. This will help save time in moving local files into your Google Drive, keep your files updated, and also help free up some network bandwidth in your Google Drive. So in order to get this, you will need to contact IT for them to download it. Trust me, it's definitely worth it. So I have information here on the slide on how to do that if you're not quite sure, but let me show you what this would look like. So basically, after you download this application, you're going to find your Google Drive as a location option in your File Explorer, which is awesome. I mean, it's so easy to move something into it. I'm going to show you. So I'm just going to exit from the slides real quick. All right, so I'm going to open up my File Explorer here. All right, and these are all my files on my computer. And if you look over here on the left-hand side, you'll see that a location option is my Google Drive file stream. So if I click the arrow to expand this, it has my Google Drive and then any shared drives that I'm a part of, which I'll explain later today as well. If I expand my drive, I'll show you, this is really cool. It shows all my individual folders, and I have folders within my folders in my drive, so I can expand those. So let's say I download something, instead of going into Google Drive, finding that folder, finding where I want to put it, uploading it that way, I can do it straight from here. So I have a Word document here. I'm just going to drag it over, and I'm just going to drop it right in my drive like that. All right, and then it usually takes several seconds, but if I open up my drive here, it'll appear right down here. You know, it usually takes, there it is. Okay, it didn't take too long, so there it is. Super, super easy. So that's definitely something that I would advise to kind of streamline your workload is Google Drive File Stream. The next thing I'm going to talk about is turning on browser push notifications in your Google Drive. This helps you keep track of who is doing what to various documents. So as you work in your drive, you're going to be sharing drives, sharing folders, you know, with different coworkers, and everyone's going to be collaborating on documents within there. You may want to keep track of when something changes. So there's an easy way to turn on push notifications. So you'll go into your drive and you'll click the settings icon, and you'll click notifications, and you can pick what to get updated on specifically, which is really nice. So on this screen here, you can see you can choose it to notify you about newly shared items, requests for access. Even when someone makes a comment on something, it'll tell you right in your browser. It'll give you a little notification. Next is workspaces. Workspaces is awesome. Basically, you can create a space in your Google Drive that collects selected files together for quick and easy access if you're working on a specific project. So right within your drive, you'll be in the priority page, and you can click create at the bottom next to workspaces to create a specific workspace for a specific project. You can title your workspace, whatever your project is, and you can add files easily. You can pull from your most recently opened files, your drive, or any shared drives. Each workspace has a 25 file limit, which is great. That's quite a lot to work with if you need to, if it's a big project. It's easy to manage a workspace. You can hide the workspace if you say it's a project that you have a couple months, you're working on it, but it's not a top priority. You can always hide it so it's not right in your face until you need it. When you're done with that project, you can remove the workspace, which will delete the workspace, but it won't delete any of the files in there. Your files are still on your drive. They just don't collect them together in that workspace anymore when you're finished. So let me show you that here. I'm going to go back into my drive. I'm going to show you the push notifications first, and then we'll work a little bit in workspaces here. So again, if I'm going too fast, I have a lot to cover in a short amount of time. But again, if you showed up late in the chat, and I'll send it again at the end, In the chat, you'll find links to these resources I'm showing today, so you can access them whenever you want. So I'm going to go up here to this little gear icon. I'm going to click Settings. And then I'm going to click Notifications. And then here you can see I already have them all checked. So whenever any edits are made on any documents, I'm already notified. But basically, you get to decide what you want to be notified about, which is really easy. If you're waiting for a colleague to add something to a document and you're working somewhere else, you don't have your drive up right now, but you have a browser up, and they go in and make that change, it'll notify you, which is really nice. All right, let's look at workspaces. So again, to get to your workspaces, you're going to be in your drive. You want to go over here to priority, right at the top here of your table of contents off to the left. If I click priority, I'm going to scroll down to the bottom. You should see that I have one workspace up right now, and it was actually for this training right now. So I only had 2 documents going, but it was nice. Instead of logging in, right, and going to my drive, searching through my folders, and again, I have folders within folders, right? I didn't have to do all that searching. I just went right to priority, scroll down, I have them ready to go. If I want to create a new one, it's very easy. I just click create, name it whatever I want. And then I just add files. It has my 2 most recent files, or I can click here and choose anything in my recents, in my drive. I can even go into some shared drives and pull some things from there if I need to. All right, so I'm going to exit out of here. And again, managing your workspaces is easy. Click these 3 little dots here. Hide if you need to. It's not deleted, it's just down here under hidden workspaces. And I can unhide it whenever I want. Now this was just an example. I don't actually need it, so I'm just going to remove it. And it'll remove the workspace, but again, all the files will remain in their original location untouched. All right, clicking back into my presentation here, we're going to move right along. We're going to get into shared drives a little bit. I talked about them a little bit already. Basically, a shared drive allows you to store, search, and access files with a team rather than individually. So you can give team members access to a shared drive and manage it together. If a team member leaves the project, you will still have access to their files if they're stored on the shared drive. To access shared drives, you'll find shared drives in the menu on the left-hand side. You'll double-click on a shared drive to explore its contents. You can also make a new drive by clicking New and then choosing Shared Drive. You'll give it a name, and then you'll start dropping files, or you can create a new file within that shared drive. Some important things to note when it comes to shared drives: files that you move from your drive into a shared one will no longer appear in your drive unless you make a copy first. And I'll show you how to make copies of a document. Folders cannot be moved into shared drives yet. So if you have a folder in your drive that you want to move over into the shared drive, you cannot right now. However, if you search Google Forms anywhere, you have a ton of people clamoring for this feature. Google says they're working on it, but as of right now, you cannot do that. Just be aware that any users that have access to the shared drive have access to whatever files you upload there. So if you upload something in a shared drive, you don't really want some people looking at, whoever's in that drive is going to have access to it. So just be aware of that. You can manage members easily to add collaborators to your shared drive and manage their roles. Here's a little screenshot on how to do that, and I'll walk you through that as well after we get through these slides. Here's a handy chart on the different permissions for specific roles. So you can see manager can do everything. They can view, comment, edit on anything in the drive. They can add items, move them, delete them, and manage members. And then if you go down the line, down to viewer, who can only view. So it's important to understand the permissions for the roles that you assign your different members of the shared drive. And here's a list of shared drive settings. As you can see here, some of these settings can only be done by managers. For instance, shared drive settings, edit the different settings. Managers are the only ones that can do that, as well as rename the drive, change the theme, delete the drive. And these are the specific settings, again, only managers can do. So I'm going to, again, go into my drive and kind of show you some shared drive stuff. So again, you'll go to the left here, you'll click shared drives. These are all the shared drives I'm currently a part of, all right? So let me show you how to make a new one. So I just go here to this new button. We use that to make a new shared drive. So I'm gonna do, let's say test drive. It'd be cool if the theme they gave me was like a car. No, just a seashell, but that's fine. So you'll see here it's made, all right? And I can start dropping files, or I can just go over here to new, and I can just start making a new Google Doc, sheet, whatever I need. Manage members, I go up here to manage members. Right now I'm the only one in here. I can add people. Daryl, if you don't mind, I'll add you to this test drive here. So I type in his name, right? It pops up. Over here is where I can change that role. So I can have him as content manager, right? And that handy chart on the slide is something I refer to if I need to make a shared drive, just to understand exactly what each role requires. I'll leave as content manager, and then I'll just send, all right? And he'll be notified that he got added to the shared drive. All right, so I'm gonna click here, and these are all my options. I can manage members, I can email them. These are the drive settings that, again, I can change since I'm the manager of this shared drive. All right, so I can check or uncheck. So just a handy way to share files with the team, have the team working on everything together, which is really nice. All right, so I'm gonna go back into the slides here. And I want to bring something up. Last time I did a training like this, I was asked this question a few times about the safety of Google Drive, right? We're putting a lot of content on there. Is it safe? So this slide just has a couple of things I found after researching how secure Google Drive is. And Google Drive, it's pretty secure. These quotes, I put them up, to give you peace of mind if you're wondering. But basically, everything is encrypted both ways. So data in and out from the drive is encrypted. It's encrypted both ways, which is super secure. A couple links here. I have some more information from Google themselves on how they keep data safe. And I also have, I don't know if you've heard of Google Authenticator. I use that with some of my personal Google accounts. Basically, it's just a two-step verification for security. I have that linked on this slide as well, if that's something you want to take a look at for a personal device or personal Google accounts. So we're going to switch gears from Drive and go into a little bit of Google Docs stuff. So there's actually this new, pretty recent file shortcut. So if you need to make a new doc or new sheet or new presentation, you can use these little file shortcuts and just in your browser type in doc.new and it'll make an automatic new Google Doc. As long as you're logged into your Google account first. So quick and easy. I'll show you just how quick and easy right now. So right here, I'll just do doc.new. And just like that, I got a new document. And it's already in my drive. So if I go to my drive, I should see it at the bottom. I don't see it yet, but it'll be there. It's super easy. Editing text quickly. Using the paint format button in the toolbar is an easy way to change fonts quickly from one section of your document to another. And I have a video here that you can always access if you need to show how to use this button. As well as making an automatic outline. So you can create an automatic outline of your document, allowing you to jump quickly and easily from section to section. To do this, you'll go to View, and then show document outline. You'll just check that. And then off to the left of your document is a very handy outline. And you can hop from one section to another. And it'll look something like this. And you can just click on that section and it'll hop right to it. So I'm going to stop share and show you those two things. Oh, I didn't mean to stop the full share. Sorry about that. I just meant to exit out of here. And we are going to go into a meeting note document here. So what I love using Google Docs for is team meeting notes, right? So if you're meeting as a team and you need someone to keep notes, again, in the browser, they can just type in doc.new and there you go. So this is like a sample team note document. Right now, the outline is here, but if it wasn't, I'd go to View and Show Document Outline. So if I click that, it'll take the outline away, right? And then I can just go here and add it again. Now there's only one section because this is a short piece here. Paint format option. So let's say I want the rest of this to look just like this heading. All right. I would highlight, or I just click into this, click there, click on this paint button, highlight this text, and bam, just like that, it's changed. I'm going to undo that. But very easy to change document fonts and styles. Next, I'm going to take a look at a Google research option or explore tool where you can conduct research right within your Google Doc. And if you find anything of note that you want to add to your document, you can click Cite as footnote and it'll add it right into your document, citing it at the bottom. And again, I have a video here to show you the exact steps. If, again, you have access to this whenever you need it, and I'll share it again in the chat at the end today. Google Keep Notes is an awesome tool also that you can use. Basically, you download this app to your phone, iOS or Android device. I have a link here that takes you to the proper place to do that. Basically, it's a note-keeping service that you can use across your mobile device as well as your laptop. It can be integrated directly into your Google Docs. So you can say that you're, at the store and you think, oh man, that would be awesome to add to this document. Pull out your phone, open up Google Keep, type out a little note, and then when you log on to your laptop or your computer later that night, that note that you typed out on your phone is going to be in your Google Keep. And I'll show you how to access Google Keep right now. So I'm going to exit here, go to my meeting notes. If I go over here to the right, you'll see this little light bulb icon. This is your Google Keep. So if I open this up, it'll show me all the notes that I have taken so far. So let's say I want to add this note over here. So I'll just scroll down to the bottom. I want to add it to the second page. I can just click these three dots and click Add to Document. It'll add that right in there, exactly how it looks. All right, let's say there's something on this document that I want to add to my Keep for later. I can just highlight whatever that is, right click over it, and then I'll have an option, Save to Keep. And just like that, it's going to take that note and I can just click anywhere and there it is. I can also just take a note directly in my Keep right here by clicking New Note. I can give it a title and I can make a little note. Remember to test drive that car. And then I'll click Done. And then I can access that note on my phone with my Google Keep app. So it's really handy. I've been using it a lot since I found out about it. So I'll exit out of there. And then the conducting research using Explore tool, you'll find that down here at the bottom, Explore. And you can actually search your Drive or the web. All right, so let's say I want, yeah, that works. Application, or let's do academic term. Let's try that. We got web results, we got image results, and it also search in my drive. So anything in my drive, if it has academic term in it, it's going to pop up here. All right, so let's say I find something from the web, this Wikipedia article on academic term. Let's say I want to cite it for whatever reason. I'll click here, cite as footnote, and it's actually going to add it here to the footnote of my document. And it's really nice because you can actually just insert images directly to your document. So let's say I want to insert this image. I'll click the plus sign. Oh, let's try it again. There we go. So instead of opening up a new browser and doing a Google search there, you can just explore directly within your Google Doc. All right, so looking at the time here, let's move back into our drive and talk about staying organized with folders and subfolders. So here I have some folders made up. To get into a folder, I'll just double click into there, and I have folders within folders, right? Where you will find my documents and files. To create a new folder, all I have to do is go up here to New and click Folder. Create a new one, and I can name it whatever I want and create. And then I can drag documents into the folder, and I can click into this folder, and again, make a folder within this. I can right click here, or I can click New up here and do New Folder that way. Easy way to stay organized. Before, my drive did not look this organized. There were documents everywhere. So I made some folders. I color coded the folders. To do that, you can right click over the folder and click Change Color. Now, your folders are going to lay out in the order that you make them. If you want them in a specific order, you can always add numbers to the front of the name. So that's why I have these numbered as well. So for example, if I go to rename and I put a 2 in front of the name of the folder, it'll move it right up here behind my other folder with a 2 there. So that's just if you want to keep them in numerical order. Right-clicking over the folder will give you all your different options for the folder. Adding to star, if you click Add to Star, it'll add over here, kind of like a mini workspace. So these are all my starred folders. So if you have folders that you go to pretty much every day, you can star them, and then you can just go right here and open them up. You can also star individual files or documents as well. Shared with me is where you'll find anything that has been shared to you that you do not actually own. I had a question about, is it easy to accidentally delete something that is shared to you? So if there's something shared to me and I delete it, it's going to delete it from my drive, but it will not delete the original document from whoever shared it to me. Now, if I make the document and I share it out and then I delete it, everyone I shared it to will no longer have access to it, unless I go into my trash here and I can recover it as long as it's within 30 days. Because as it says up here, items in trash are deleted forever after 30 days. So let's say I want this PowerPoint still. I deleted this just yesterday, so I can right click over it and click Restore, and it'll bring it back into my drive. Up here is the priority tab. Google just keeps tab of, the files or documents you've been using most recently for you. And one last thing that I also had a question about last training is, if I upload a PDF and I share it out to other people and they have the link, but I want to change that file, like let's say I updated this PDF file, can I update the file, but keep the old link? And the answer to that is yes. So this PDF here, let's say I shared that out to multiple people, but then I updated the PDF, but I want them to access the new one with the same link. I'll go over, right click on it, go to manage versions. And then here I can upload a new version. It'll keep that same link that I shared out, but the new PDF will be there. So I'm going to click this. I don't have a different version of this PDF, so let's just do a new PDF. I'll open. So to upload this new PDF, but the link will stay the same. All right, so it looks to be about 3. I want to make sure I have enough time for questions. Again, I shared these slides out to the chat. I will share them again for those that may have showed up a little late and missed that. And you can access this whenever you need. My contact info is here on this slide, as well as all the CDI contacts. If you click this link, if you need help with any of this or anything remote instruction, D2L related, let us know. So now we'll take time for any questions.
Yep. Cool. Thanks so much, Scott. I really appreciate it. And it seemed like several people mentioned it being helpful in the chat. So I'm going to put, I'll do like one by one. I'll repaste the questions into the chat, and then and I'll try to organize them kind of together so that it's not jumping around too much. So here's our first one. So can you get that, meaning file stream, if you don't have the VPN?
Oh, that's a good question. I believe you can. I'm not entirely sure. So I'm gonna save this question, and I will further research that. But I believe that you can.
Great. And there is a way, if you want to be able to use them like offline. I'm going to paste in this link, which it's like a couple of steps, but you can basically set it so that it will download those documents to your computer so that you can use them when you're not online. Otherwise, it'll require internet access to like open and save things and all that.
Great.
All right, so our next one, I'm do all the file stream ones together.
Okay.
All right, so here's our next one. So would it, being file stream, operate with your personal drive and your hack drive? I assume that means, can you have them all on your computer?
Yes, I believe it's going to, yeah, I believe you can have file stream with either, you can have it between both drives. Yeah, like if I log out of hack and go into my personal drive and I go to open up my files, it'll have my personal drive here as well. I believe it's whatever you're currently logged into. So since I'm logged into my hack one right now, this will be my hack drive. I believe that's the case. And
Yeah.
again, I will further research that one as well.
That seems right. And also in case because I forget who asked it, but in case they were wondering, like, can you have them all on the computer? You can, because I have the file stream and my hack drive, which I almost never use actually now because I mostly use the file stream, and the this computer's folders and drive as well. So you can have all of those together.
Awesome.
All right, so next up is, whoops, wait, we got a new question. I got to paste that in. All right, next up is, this is just a compliment, but I'm putting it anyway just to help your ego. Give you a nice easy one in between. All right, here's the next actual question. How much can you put on file stream? Is there a limit before they start charging you? Do you know the answer to that, Scott? I'm gonna check on my test and see if it's me.
That's a great question.
I've never run into a limit. Has anybody?
I have not yet.
It doesn't say that there's a limit, which makes me think it's at least going to be enormous. Like mine tells me how much I've used, but it doesn't say that there's a limit. Like
it doesn't say like out of however much you have.
Yeah, mine says like
Okay.
1.2 gigabytes used, but I don't know. There doesn't seem to be a maximum. If it is, somebody can tell us when they hit it, but I don't think you will. I think I wouldn't want to say it's necessarily infinite, but I think it's really big, if anything.
Right. And one of the selling points they have for downloading it is that it opens up bandwidth in your drive. So let's say you reach your max in your drive, you can always download this file stream to kind of save some space there. So I don't know what the exact max is, but yeah, I'm guessing it's very high.
Yeah.
But again, that's something we'll take note of, and I'll research that as well.
Cool. All right, let's see. Here's a good hard one. This is one that will require more than the time we have left, I'm sure. So tip organizing a Google Drive, like how do you keep it from having stuff everywhere? Actually, you probably know the answer because you just did this, right, Scott?
Yeah. Wait, so I'm sorry, what was the question, Daryl?
So just about how to organize your Google Drive. Like you had said that yours was kind of messy before, and then you
yes,
sort of organized it in a way that would be, more efficient, more effective.
Right. So basically the workspaces that I talked about is an awesome way to organize for like projects that are you're currently working on. I also just make folders. So if you see here, I have like a folder for all things hack. So if I go in there, I have like recordings of training. So like this recording will go in there when this is over. And I basically just break down like big projects on the horizon and like where they would go in these folders. So another example is like Go React, working with Go React and making training videos and transcripts. I made a Go React folder, and in that folder, subfolders for each of the different type of assignments. Another thing I didn't touch on actually that helps with organization is the search function in Drive is amazing. So for example, it even searches PDFs. So I uploaded that PDF. I put it in a folder. Let's say I log in a couple days later. I have no idea where I put it, but I remember the word arrests was in it. So I type in arrests, oops, if I can spell it correctly, and then I'll search, and then there's that PDF. It pops up immediately. So the search function in Drive is awesome. Also, you can go down here to advanced search. So if you remember, oh, there's that file that I opened a couple months ago, but I don't remember what it was called. You can even go to date modified, last 90 days, or type in custom if you remember like the exact date or whatever, you can find it easily that way. But yeah, general tips to stay organized. I would say create folders and then just start going through your files and deciding where it could go. Like, is it a specific project? Is it a specific, for example, in my hack folder, I have a folder for employee resources. So I put like all these, files in there that I need, something that I need to go back to. So yeah, as far as organizing, I would say folders, parse through your documents, find a folder for it. Try to like make it not strict per se, but like make sure you have folders that are not like miscellaneous where like you can find anything in there. Make sure it's like a specific project or a specific thing you're working on. Hopefully that answers the question.
Great, thanks. Actually, I think maybe Ruth's question. So she just said, are there instructions anywhere for how to get Google File Stream for future use when I need it and forget? I think you shared that in the beginning somewhere. Is that
yes, yeah, so it's on the slide. So now I think would be a good time. I'm going to reshare the documents in the chat.
Awesome,
so
thanks.
so that first link I just sent is, I believe, to the Google Doc that has all of these step by step. And then I'm going to share out these slides again too.
Cool. Thanks.
If this loads, there we go. All right, and then in the chat, all right, and then that second link is to the slides. But yes, on one of the first slides here, it has links to download the file stream, and then I have directions on how you can use it in the corresponding slide after that. But if you need any help with that, just reach out, email me or call me, and I can help you set that up after you get it downloaded, of course.
Yeah, I think so. They could download it and then set up with someone in IT to just like, if it's a, assuming it's a hack laptop or whatever, to install it, because you'll need their like administrative.
Yeah, you'll need IT to install it, but then once it's installed, it's super easy. But again, if you have trouble, just reach out to one of us and we can walk you through it.
Yep. All right, here's another question sort of about file stream or drive. So can you add people who are not in the hack organization to the shared drive? Would you just type in their email?
Yes. Yep. I added my personal account to something and it did work. It does kind of, I think it kind of like warns you. Let me try actually.
I think it does too. Yeah.
Yeah. So if I share these slides to my personal account, let's see what it does here. It's running a little slow here. Just because I have so many things up. Yes, so to answer that question, yeah, I type out my whole email. It does have it here, and I can send it. Yeah, there we go. Share outside of your organization. It gives you a little warning. So yeah, you just say share anyway, and then yeah, there we go. And I just got a notification on my phone that I got something from Hack. So yes, the answer to that is yes.
Awesome. All right, here's one about, I think this is the Keep note. So I have Google Notes on my phone, but how can I see which of my Google accounts it is synced to, personal or hack? I don't know if we can do the phone part because we don't know what kind of phone the person has, but I think it'll show it here, won't it?
Let me see. So if I open up Keep, let's open in a new tab.
I mean, obviously, I guess this
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, wonderful. Yes, I'm actually in this Zoom session with Scott and Daryl right now.
Oh,
so they told
wait,
us.
she's not
that we
talking
need
to
have
us.
that
I thought you were talking to
installed.
us.
I know, me too. I have no idea who it is.
You.
I can't mute them. Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
Let me see if
Excellent.
I can do it.
you can probably mute maybe everybody.
Oh, there we go.
I think we got it.
Okay, that is a good question. I think it might be across
I'm gonna see if,
all
that's
your
my
accounts.
Jabber number.
Oh,
I can also
okay.
give.
all right, I don't know who that is, so we have to mute them. Can you mute everybody?
Yeah, I clicked mute.
I mute everybody.
Click mute all. Okay, I think we're good. All right, so actually, if I open up my phone, on iOS at least, when I open up Keep, the first thing it says is choose your account, and it has all my Google accounts listed.
Yeah.
So I assume it would look the same way on Android.
It
I'm
does.
not entirely sure.
Yeah, it does, because I have mine open right now and you probably can't see it, but like in the upper right corner, it has like my photo, and that's my like Gmail photo. So I know automatically that's not my hack one, but if you click on it, it'll say like which one it is. And then you can switch if you want to switch to a different one. And
Yeah,
you can have them
yep.
both. I think you can actually have them both on your phone and just switch back and forth if you want.
Yeah, I have both of mine actually. And yeah, you don't have to log in and out. You can just pick between the 2 or 3 or however many. So.
All right, we have time for maybe 1 or 2 more questions.
Okay.
So this one is, I'm curious, how are you organizing all the items that are shared with you? Do you just move them to folders? So not ones that you've made, but stuff that's.
Oh, shared with me. Yeah, so let's go here. So unfortunately, so this was shared to me. I can't move it into my drive. It's only going to be on shared with me. So to find things shared, you would go to shared with me, and you cannot unfortunately move these things into your personal drive. However, I can make a copy of this. So I have this form that was shared to me by Daryl. I copied it, and it is making a copy in my personal drive. So I do have a copy of that. It's not the original, but it is a copy, and now it's in my personal drive. So Yeah, to answer the question, all stuff shared with you is going to be here and shared with me. You cannot move it directly into your drive, but you can make a copy, and then that copy will be found in your drive.
All right. 2 more quick ones. Let's see, this is really useful. Thank you. In sharing docs, how do I change the default to hack, anyone? Do you know that, Scott?
Wait, I'm sorry, what was the question? When you
So
share
like when
a
you're
document,
going to share, I think this person wants it to be the default is hack, anyone, I guess.
Oh, okay. So let me, so I'm in these meeting notes here. Let's go to share, right? Oh, I think I shared the wrong thing before. Okay, I'll take care of that after this question. So I think I shared out this example instead of the job aid I meant to send out. But so if I go up here to share, and then down here, I can change it to hack. And then as far as keeping that as a default, yeah, I'm going to take a note and try to get back to you on that one, because usually the default is just restricted. But as far as setting a default to hack, I'm not quite sure, but I will research that. But if you do need to change it to hack, yeah, you just come up here to share, and then under get link, you'll see change, and then you can change it to hack. And then over here, you can change exactly their role. So viewer, commenter, or editor.
Awesome.
And while I'm thinking about it, I accidentally in the chat sent out the link to the wrong job aid document. So I'm going to resend that right now.
Okay. While you resend that, I can answer this last question. It's our last one. Can we move OneDrive documents to Google Drive? And the answer is yes. You can move things from your hard drive on your computer. You can move things from Dropbox, from OneDrive. You can sort of move them and make copies and things back and forth. And if you have OneDrive actually installed on the computer, like the actual OneDrive, their version of file stream, then you can actually just drag them in and out of either one. So they do work fine from one to the other. All right, so if anybody wants to stick around for a second to get the link again.
Yeah, my apologies. I'm going to send it right now.
You'll get it. Otherwise, I think that's it. If you have any questions, you can contact any of us. And in the files that Scott's sharing, remember it has the contact page, all of us. So so it should be.
And let me share the slides just one more time in case they got lost in the questions or whatnot.
So thanks so much, everybody, for coming.
Yes, thank you. Hopefully that was helpful. And any questions that we're going to take a look at, we can always get back to you with the answer.
Yep, and the recording will be up next week, or out next week.
And then in the chat is the link to the slides again, just in case.
Cool. All right, thanks so much, Scott. You're in charge. I think you're the host, so you can end it. Guess just send the file.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody.
Cool. Thanks, everybody, for being here.